What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hype Podcast, starring Amir, and we got our. No, I'm kidding. Are we actually? We're starting this one?
Yeah, let's do it. It's already going.
All right.
How are you guys doing? Welcome to episode 1 of the Hypecast, also known as Dr. Stuglin's final exam. I have with me myself, Amir. I have my co-host, Theo, and we have a guest, former Jacksonville Jaguars offensive lineman, Mr. Donelle Greene. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So, get this going here. And we're good. All right, cool. So, just some basic questions to start off. So, you did play in the NFL, correct?
I did.
What was that like? Like, tell me about your first experience when you walked into the training facility on day one.
Day one, I walked in. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what to think. Didn't know how it was going to be. Because I'm like, you always hear these stories, like, no vet likes when rookies come. They always want to play pranks on you, stuff like that. But all I knew mentally was me, I'm not going for anyone's shit. Like, I put it like this. At the end of the day, I just knew we're all there to connect on football.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing the sport for a long time, so as long as I stuck to that, I would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like my biggest thing. And once I did that, I noticed like I wasn't that one rookie sitting there like really trying to fit in with the vets, trying to be cool with the vets. The vets were more approaching me because they're just like, small talk, this and that, and we just go about it. Like,
Yeah, because you're out there to play the game.
yeah, so I don't know. That was just my outlook on it. Like, I don't want to be there, be buddy, like, always, like, looking, like, trying to be, like, hey, you want me to go get this for you? Like, no, I wasn't doing that. I couldn't do it.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't push that more on you, because, like, it's not even the rookie's choice if they're going to be the butt of the joke, you know?
Yes and no. But I would say this one moment that I had, it was with Cam Robinson. He was a left tackle at Alabama, started for a few years. He was drafted. I think he fell right out the first round, went in the second round.
Okay.
So the rookies, we always met before every team meeting in the meeting room. So like we're already there. I'm not getting up. I'm not even that close. So Cam walks up. He said, "Yo, you in my seat? Get up." And I was like, "No, I'm not moving." And all these other vets are starting to walk in. It was like one of the center that came in. His name was Bunchy Stallings. He was from Kentucky. Our center said, "Bunchy, get the fuck out of my seat, get up." So all the other rookies at that point, they just got up. Cam was like, "No, for real, like, get up." And I was like, "No." I said, "There's hella seats, like, I'm not even that close." Then he literally looked at me, like, serious, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck. He was like, nah, he's like, I'm really serious. He's like, I've sat in this seat from day one of my rookie year until now. He was already there for 3-4 years. The D-line coach walked in. He said, "Oh, Cam, looks like you finally lost your seat today." And when they said that, I was like, oh, like you weren't trying to like force me to get up because like you just wanted me to move. So by that he was like, then he actually was like, "No, for real, can I get my seat?" And that's why I was like, you know what, you can have it. Because I felt like then at that moment, like, you know, I stuck up for myself and didn't just move.
Mm-hmm.
But then I found out the backstory, like that actually he sat in that exact same seat, and it was like since then, like no one really messed with me. But the dude Bunchy, he was over there offering stuff. He was like, "Hey, like I don't dip," but he's like, "Hey," he was like, "You want some dip?" And they're like, "Bunchy, next meeting we need 3 logs of this, 4 of that." And I'm like, everyone just thinks like immediately like once you get in the NFL it's just like instant millions. Like that's not how it works. You don't get that money until you start playing games, or depending on like when, like if you got a big signing bonus. So like all those numbers like go into it.
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, we're not really getting paid much. We're getting like weekly, like per diem, maybe about $1,000 a week. But like, he's spending like $300 a week on this, and he's barely using it himself. And I'm like, that's what I'm not gonna do.
I think that's crazy that he's like, you are a very accomplished person. You made it to the NFL. You were a top dog, and then you have your guy, and he was like giving the dip and stuff. It's crazy that he was still like catering to them. Like,
That's bizarre to me.
it is.
Like they call it like it's always like this little dumb stuff. Like in the NFL, a lot of people don't know. Like they call it like you get fined.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in-house fines for stuff like in your position room.
Yeah.
So like I know a lot of people caught on to it because I think Travis Kelce was joking about it. He was like, "Oh, like his thing is he always wear designer stuff." So it's like if you're not traveling during the season, if you're not wearing designer, you're fined $10,000 each time. So it's like all that money builds up.
Wow.
And then so like if you get like a false start, penalties, you get an MA during a game, that's a fine. But that
That's
money
crazy.
at the end of the game, so put it like this, at the end of preseason, Like, because I got hurt, I went on IR. And then in the preseason, I technically owed about $30,000.
What the fuck?
That's a scam, bro.
I technically owed $30,000, but it's not to like the actual team. It's the O-line room.
Oh, so it's everybody.
It's just everybody in that
Yeah,
O-line. I
O-line.
personally owed $30,000.
Oh
The center Bunchy owed about $80,000. Because like literally, like, so if you get an MA,
Dude,
$5,000.
shouldn't the QB be paying these? Because y'all are holding to protect him, right?
I will say this, because my first year was the same year as Nick Foles' first year.
Yeah. Talk about that.
We were in the huddle. One of the I think Cam might have came out. Something happened. Next, I'm in with the ones for a few reps.
Wow.
I'm like taking full advantage of this shit. Man, I get in there. Fucking Nick Foles fucked up the play. But the thing was, we weren't doing full line. We were doing like a half line drill.
Mhm.
So I blocked how he called it. My coach came up and ripped me so bad. Like, you talk about someone feel like you just feel like actually like belittled for a second. I was like, man. And I didn't want to say it on the field, but like, he called this play because I didn't want to just like blame it on him. I didn't want to throw him under the bus. So we get in the meeting room. They used to call me Heavy D at the Jacks. He was like, Heavy D. He was like, what the fuck were you doing out there? We just went over that. I said, Coach, Foles made the wrong call. That's not what he called.
Uh-huh.
He said, are you shitting me? Center looked over. He started smiling. I was like, don't bullshit. Like, he called the wrong thing. He said, Coach, he's right. He called the wrong thing. He was like, well, why didn't you say that on the field? I'm like, I'm not going to throw him under the bus.
Yeah,
Right then and there.
Foles.
I was like, I'm not going to do that. So it's funny how stuff like plays out.
Dude, that's so crazy, the amount of high, like, professional, like, well-known players that you played with. Like, didn't you play with Ramsey?
Yep, I got a story with him too.
Jalen Ramsey?
First live rep, we're going full pads, everything. They moved me from tackle to guard this day. So I'm pulling. So literally in the boundary, I'm pulling, running full speed. Jalen's the corner I'm supposed to go hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like looking, like as I'm running, like, do I actually fucking hit him?
Yeah.
Because this is right when he's at the point where he's like the money man. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
So I was there when he showed up in like the Brinks truck and all that.
Mhm.
Like, so I'm literally like, dude, like, do I hit him? Or, like, I'm scared not to hit him, but then I'm scared to hit him. And what if I hurt him? Like, so I literally like, so you can see me on film. I'm running and I pull up and then I just like lean in and I thud him real good. But it was funny because you've seen Jalen at camp. He's got his mirror visor on, got his grill in. So when I look at him, I'm like, caught myself like this close, staring at him, but I'm really looking at myself in the reflection of his visor. Then he starts smiling, I can see his grill. I'm just like, he was like laughing. He was like, you ain't know you're supposed to hit me, huh? And he literally like dapped me on my head. He said, no, you did good though. He was like, at least you ain't try to take me out. Dude. But I still gave him a good fit to where it was accurate, like read for him what he needed to do.
I can only imagine a body type like Jalen Ramsey is kind of slimmer going against you.
That's the thing. You're not. That's why I said like it's football at the end of the day. So it's like as long as if you don't know something, just protect yourself. That's what I did, and I was pretty good with it. So instead of me trying to go for a kill shot on you, I'm gonna go thud you up really good, give you a good look, and we're both good. And like another thing was like I was right next to Calais Campbell too. He's my locker buddy. So me and Calais would talk all day in the locker room. We'll get out to practice. Instead of Calais pulling like vets out, he would like, hey, like come on. He'll pull me to the side. He's like, hey, like I'm trying to work this move. He'll tell me the move that he was trying to work. But most people think that like, oh, he's trying to work a move, just let him win. No, I'm not gonna let you win the rep. I'm gonna give you a live look. Because I know you're trying to work this move, I'm going to try to stop you from doing it to where you can like conquer that move. So in the game, it's real.
Right.
So
Makes
like,
sense.
Practice the way you play, right?
Yep.
Right.
So like,
I never played football. I did sports growing up, but not football. And that's like the rookie experience. It's the little things. I wouldn't even think of a rookie. A question in your head is, do I hit this guy? I don't know. That's not the stuff I think about. What I think about is he probably doesn't know the playbook. He doesn't know his flight. He doesn't know how he's getting to the stadium. I wasn't thinking of reps like that. There's so many small details about rookie year and what you really do learn. You learn a lot in the rookie year, right?
Learn a lot. So one of the easiest things when you first get there, for me during my rookie year, when you first report about a week, maybe a week and a half after the draft, that's during like the OTA period. So during that period, they'll put you in a hotel. So they're paying for all that. They put you in a hotel. They're providing you meals, and then they're also shuttle. So to and from the stadium, there's literally vans going nonstop. If it's not a van, say if your coach or the GM wants you, he will literally send somebody over, like a student assistant for somebody during camp. They will literally send somebody over in a Suburban or something, come pick you up from the hotel and transport you.
Seriously? Dude,
So,
that is super cool, actually.
when I say this, I had to go get like an x-ray or something during camp. When I say at one point during camp, there were at least 30 to 40 rented SUVs in that parking lot. Because there's people coming and going to say, okay, both of you, it's Wednesday in the NFL, normal world, no COVID and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a workout every Wednesday. Each team is holding a workout. So even during camp, every Wednesday, they're bringing at least 5 guys in for a workout. Will one of those guys make it and somebody gets cut?
Oh man, I forgot
Probably.
about that.
You're getting cut.
So literally, it's like there's guys coming in left and right. There's always stuff going on.
So I have a question. So I know obviously you went to the University of Minnesota. And I know when I met you, we had talked about you playing Chase Young.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear some of that.
Yeah, I played against a lot of good players. Chase Young was one. TJ Watt was another.
Oh my God.
I played against Rashawn Gary. And it's funny because all the guys I'm naming were all first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do shit to me.
Humble brag right there.
Little
You gotta
brag.
get to the horn,
But
bro.
like film backs it up. But yeah, for me, I feel like I rise. I love the hype. Guys have all the hype. Oh, projected this. Let me go get you. Because at the end of the day, it's just football. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing. I may not be the best player, but you don't have to be. Even for you, your sports that you played, you don't have to be the best person. But as long as you know what you can do and you're confident in yourself and your own play,
Yeah.
what can actually stop you at that point?
Yeah, you need to know how you can contribute to a team.
Yeah.
Basketball is an easy way for me to say this. So like me, I'm a big man. I get rebounds. I'm passing it, bro. I'm not dribbling. I can't do that. So you just got to know your place.
Yeah, there's that, and also I did learn this in NFL. The mental game is more than half the battle.
I'm sure. Knowing the playbook, knowing whether you're supposed to hit Jalen Ramsey or not.
Knowing whether you're not going to stay or get cut.
Yeah, but also tendencies. Like I'm sure you've seen a particular move over and over. And you're like, hey, last time I put my hand here, it didn't work.
Yep.
And then you're like, you adjust, you move, and mental. That's not physical. Your body can be one of the best linemen, but a lot of it's in your technique.
Yeah, that part, but think mentally too. Also from kind of more emotional, like from where are you in a good headspace today? Are you really stressed? Like another big thing is controlling what you can control. You can't. Well, funny thing, my wife helped me understand this. Going through it, you mentally, you can and can't control if they cut you. Like you can go out and play your best and do everything that you know how to do, but they can still cut you. You can have a perfect preseason, they can still cut you.
Yeah.
Control what you can control. Don't worry about that part. Worry about that once it comes, because the more you sit there and you think, oh, like it's after this game, like they're doing cuts tomorrow, like you're up all night freaking out, and for what?
Yeah. You know, that's actually really good life advice too.
And it's
do what you can, and then
do what you can, control what you can control, and just when I started looking at it that way and just started playing and thinking more freely, it's natural, and it's just again like you're just right. I got right back to football, the basics of it. That's what I grew up playing. That's what I know. That's what I love, and it comes easy. But when you start thinking and adding all these extra outside things into it, it just complicates everything. But it's like for what?
Yeah. So I know that you're from here. You went to Cal, right?
Yep, graduated from Cal.
You a Falcons fan?
Never been a Falcons fan.
What?
Never been a Falcons fan.
Hey.
I've always.
Oh, are we good to cuss?
Oh, I kinda,
They fucking suck, bro.
I've dropped some in there.
Sorry, Professor.
Oh, am I not supposed
I
to?
don't care. We're in college, dude.
Because I definitely dropped some in there. But yeah, I've never been a Falcons fan. I remember I was kind of always like a Brady fan, like a Patriots fan. I remember I was in 5th grade. That was the year of, pretty sure that was the helmet catch.
2011. That was 11, right? Yeah, that was 11.
It's 2011.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that, and it was crazy because I was talking all this shit in school. Then I was here, so that was the undefeated year. They lost against the Giants to that catch, and I went back to school.
No, it was David. Not David.
Can't
Is it
remember
David
who
Tyree?
did it.
I think it is David Tyree.
This wasn't even in 11. This was before that. This was their undefeated year.
Oh yeah, you're
this
right.
is 07.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. This was back then.
You're right. So that was before.
So they went. That was the first I think Miami did it.
Miami did it with Dan Marino.
Yeah, but
No, Marino didn't win at all.
No, but they went undefeated.
Oh yeah, but they actually had the perfect. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
perfect
was the
season.
perfect
Yeah,
But
actual perfect.
I think they only played 13 games back then. So no one had gone 16-0 and then won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
But-
that would have been Brady would have did it, and they lost, and I went to school and I literally just sat there, didn't say anything.
David Tyree.
David Tyree.
Yeah.
Okay. That is literally so crazy. I've been a Falcons fan majority of my life. Even after the Super Bowl that we will not speak of.
Funny story on that.
Dude, I'm ready
He
to
has a
talk
story.
about it.
He has a story on that.
I was in college. Like I said, I've always been a Brady fan, so literally you gotta get everything.
Oh, dude, I'm ready. So I'm
You
sorry.
gotta get everything approved in college. So one of our boosters for football wanted to invite some guys on the team over. Got it approved by the NCAA because it's a booster technically and all that. So we got approved. We can go to his house. So we're literally over there chilling. I'm the only Brady fan. Okay. And then we got a lot of guys. It was two guys that played at Minnesota a couple years prior. They were on the Falcons. So everybody from Minnesota, they're going for them, obviously, for the Falcons. And I'm just sitting there. They're just getting their ass whooped. Halftime, they're still up even more. Everyone's all up in my face. End of the night, I was the only one cheering. Everyone else was pissed.
Dude, I walked out. At halftime, I was bored.
It was bad.
Never been so upset at a game before.
But I just feel like that's Brady, though. You can't
count Brady out ever. I learned that the hard way.
Alright, we ready to get into heavy debate?
Heavy debate.
Tom Brady's not the GOAT. No, and I have stats to back it up, bro.
This dude is light years bigger than you. And you want to say that to a Brady fan?
Yeah, I will, because I got stats to back it up.
We'll save that for the next segment. We got a minute 30 left.
Okay. But no, bro, I'm ready for this. I'm telling you, man.
I'm just gonna. But dude, that's actually crazy that the Falcons did that. So who are you pulling for in this last Super Bowl?
I just didn't want Kansas City to win. My parents are KC fans, so I tend to go against them pretty often.
You know, as a Brady fan, you should probably be voting against Mahomes because he's putting up quite the resume for legitimate GOAT.
He is. But also, you got to look at the game of football though now. It's way different. It's a pass-friendly league compared to how it was before.
100% right. So, which is why I think it's also unfair for people to compare MJ to LeBron. They're different eras of basketball, dude.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. And looking at it, so MJ was the GOAT of his era, and I think LeBron is it for ours.
Yes.
I definitely can't argue with that, but people will still try to put the two together and say who's better.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
it is hard.
You really can't, because you could make a case for a bunch of different players to be the GOAT of their time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even look at the NBA currently. You got dudes getting texts for how they're passing the ball to the damn refs and everything right now. But I think shoot, I don't know much about baseball that much, but basketball and football, the intensity of the game has definitely died down over the last 4 or 5 seasons.
Intensity. Do you think that's because the refs, or I don't even know who actually is trying to put this in the game of basketball and football, but players are being penalized so much more than they used to be.
Oh God!
Guys would be after they score, they're giving the opponent the ball, and he's fucking down, and it's just now they get penalized for that.
I'm stopping you right there real quick.
Sure.
Think about when Cam Newton at his prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
All those touchdowns he scored, and thrown. If you got the ball back, what do you do with it? Like you just said, you gave the ball away to a kid. You find a kid.
You're right, he did. Mm-hmm.
No, every time he gave the ball away, that was a fine.
I did not.
By the NFL?
How much?
I think probably anywhere between. It's a couple thousand.
What?
I'm dead serious.
Just to give the kid a ball? You know, DeAndre Hopkins does that with his mom.
Yep.
Is that a fine?
Probably, to be honest, you can go back and kind of dispute it, and you'll go back and forth and have your agent take care of that. But yeah, it's fine. It's Christmas Day, the Cowboys always play, and they always have the Salvation Army, a little bell out. Every time someone jumps inside that bell, it's a fine.
Zeke.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
but
something.
those guys, they get you get fined. We get fined. Put it like this. Think about who's your best receiver? Who's the receivers that you like
For just in general or on my team?
on any team? Any
Well-
receiver that's playing right now. Give you an example.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper. Okay, you may not be able to go with Cooper because Cooper follows the rules a lot more.
This is very true. All right, you know what? I'll give you a good one. Michael Thomas.
Put it like this: any receiver, anybody, if you can see their knee, if you can see in between, right and above their knee,
That's a fun.
that's a fine.
There's a kicker got mad about that, but who was it? He was making tweets and all that stuff about it because they fined him because the pant to the sock wasn't touching.
Yep.
I cannot remember who it was.
That's crazy.
It's like a starting kicker.
Why does the NFL do that?
It's a fine.
I know, but why?
Why they have the look that they want to have their players in and stuff like that.
That's ridiculous.
That's where the NFL is a bigger business than a lot of people think because
It
you're
is.
not actually on the other side of it.
No, I completely agree with you. I have a note right here. What do you think about 14 teams to the playoffs? Because that's about money. They get more for a super wild card weekend. That's more fans invested. It's more games, like as I already said. But it is a business. They're doing all this for money. And what do you think about that additional team per conference?
I don't mind it. I kind of like it because it makes me think back kind of towards like high school football almost. Like, I think it's funny because pretty much you can have a shitty ass year, but guess what? You still have that playing game. You can have a horrible
That's
season
true.
and win your playing game, and it would happen every year in high school. If you win that playing game, guess what? You're in the playoffs now.
It's the same thing like the NBA with the play-in tournament.
Yep.
That's how the Hawks made it to the playoffs
It's
last
like
year.
it's different, but I do like it because it gives you the opportunity. Because at any sport, on any given day, any team can lose.
I just feel like that's what made football special, is that not half the teams made it to the postseason. In basketball, isn't it like just short of half? And the NFL now is 14. That's just short of half.
Yeah.
It's not as special as it used to be. It used to be an achievement to make it to the postseason. As you said, you can have a down year and still make it. Then what's the point of the playoffs?
The entire NFC South.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
it's-
what's the point of playoffs if everyone's going to make it? Almost half. Literally 2
But
teams shy.
it still comes down to like at the end, like who's actually going to make it to win their conference at that point.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess you're fighting for the first seed then.
Yeah,
To get
because
that
like look at it
bye
like
week.
the Jags last year. Nobody thought the Jags were going to go as far as they did.
The playoffs last
They won
year-
technically there. I think they won their side of the conference.
They did.
But they didn't win the head of the conference, no. But like their little small division, they won. And shit, in my opinion, they should have beat the Chiefs
I
was-
in that game.
Yeah.
They should have beat them. That game was extremely close.
Did Lawrence, how many turnovers did Lawrence have?
Lawrence.
It was a lot. I think.
No, you're thinking of this, the Los Angeles game when he played
Yeah.
the Chargers. He had 4 turnovers in the first half.
But he came back. He came back and won because I turned that game off.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it off, and I literally was in bed, and my wife is waking me up. My dad's blowing my phone up, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on there?" Like, she's like, "They won."
I did the same thing. I turned
I turned it off. I was already in bed.
When I was watching that game, I wasn't even surprised. You know what I was thinking?
Mm.
Scripted. I was ready for the comeback. I literally was ready for it, bro.
Bro, I put
I
the
know.
money line on the Jags.
It kills me every time someone says something is scripted, even though like I was in the NFL. For me, and I was there, I signed a real NFL contract. I knew nothing about anything being scripted or anything like that. I know somebody, can't remember who it was, he came out and said
Arian
like,
Foster?
yeah, he said like stuff is scripted, this and that, but I was just like,
How do you script that? It's hard to script the NFL.
can't.
I saw. Or,
My opinion, if it is scripted, which I have no knowledge of, it's got to be something in the sense of that the people involved, it's your quarterbacks.
Oh, for sure.
Quarterbacks, possibly running backs.
Depends on the running back. If that would be the case.
Yeah,
They want to keep this contained, so they wouldn't tell.
that's what I'm saying. So I think it would have to be quarterbacks.
I did see a take on it on how the NFL is classified. It's not sports. It's like classified as entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see like referee calls, I think the referees have the biggest influence. 'Cause
Oh,
winning
yeah,
the game.
definitely.
God,
don't.
fucking happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened in like week 7 when the Falcons played the Buccaneers and Grady Jarrett got the cleanest sack I've ever seen on Tom Brady, and it was roughing the passer?
I will say this: the whole roughing the passer thing, what people do have to look closer into. It might look like a clean hit, but sometimes it is part of the rule. If they feel like too much of your body weight falls on the player, that could be the fault of roughing the passer. That's why, like, if you noted, like, this season, try to, like, watch towards the sacks and see how the defensive player, because a lot of them, they had to, like, practice it. I think it's crazy, like, you have to practice falling because it's like they're pulling the guys down, but they're going to the side, so there's no penalty there.
It's crazy. I actually hate that. I saw a clip, I don't remember who it was, but a dude, I think he ran into the quarterback, and then he puts his hands up because he didn't want to get flagged or anything. The quarterback did not even go down. He then ran away and scrambled, whatever, and then threw a pass, and it's just, it messes with the game, and I don't like that.
I think the head thing is, I don't know. Because if you hit their head like that, it's like an automatic flag.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
I am, but I'm not, because it's like, okay, obviously, like, if I grab your helmet or pull your face mask, yes. But if I'm coming at an angle and I'm like here and I can literally dive out like right in front, and if I end up hitting your helmet, I don't feel like that should be a flag.
I think they should review it.
Because I feel like in that case, like, I'm not really going to hurt you, but I do, it's like the health caution behind it. But if my reach and I'm getting up closer towards the pier, I'm messing up your vision to get that pass off. So
yeah.
But there's a lot of give or take. These rules change every year. I think this year actually they're going to add the roughing the passer.
Make it even more strict.
No, to make it reviewable.
Yeah.
I like that. So not that many years ago, they allowed you to challenge PI, and then they took it away.
Oh yeah. Because
why did they take it away?
Because every game was extended at least 12 minutes.
Bro, you only
minimum.
You only have. Oh wait, would they do booth review, like not even a challenge, or?
No, it would be. You gotta think big games, controversial, automatic. It's upstairs. Like, they're looking at it because they can at this point. So if a coach wanted to challenge it, he could, but it's like, you get what I'm saying, like kind of like a Super Bowl. That would have been reviewed. Man. That would have been reviewed. They would have taken into action, like, but you got to think that, okay, so if that's under review, everything's getting called at that point.
Makes sense.
Because it's like, for the ref, it's easier to call it and get it taken away than it is to not call it at all.
Yeah.
So.
So you're saying that adds 12 minutes to a game? From a business point of view, more commercials.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, but like, as a player, like, even in college, like, I mean, I'll be sitting there ready to play. Next, I turn around and somebody in a red jacket standing in the corner of the field going like this, and I'm literally just like, media timeout.
Like, I got homework to do tonight.
Yeah, like, people forget, like, so every, like, commercial you see, that's a media timeout for us. So, like, we're literally just fucking, like, sitting there, like, man, like, all right, but they get going yet? Like, you look like a joke, but
Brady.
See the stats.
All right. Stats? Okay, well, I have one thing real quick right here.
He actually made it out.
Bro, it's only one slide, though. I don't know how to make it bigger, so I'm just going to have to...
Here, go to slideshow.
Slideshow, okay.
From beginning.
All right, there you go. Nice and big. Okay, this is points per game. So just one way to look at defenses. So right here you have Derek Carr's defenses. They suck. Okay, Herbert, Watson, and then you go all the way down. There's Tom Brady all the way at the other end of the list. So that's just one aspect of this. His defense ranks number 7 on average for, I think, like 21, 22-year career. That's really fucking good.
It is. And I will say this, even though I am a Brady fan, Brady really wasn't winning those games earlier on when we were younger. His defense was mainly winning those games.
He's always had snaps.
But when it's that time, like, hey, like, Gronk, we need a touchdown. Like, Edelman, we need a touchdown. Like, even Aaron Hernandez.
Oh,
like,
God.
It was those moments, though, even still with the defense, they are shutting someone out, they can go score.
Yeah, but that's another thing. So, let's flip the table real quick. Why do you think he's the GOAT? You just said, like, basically he's reliable. When he needs it to win you a touchdown, he's there, right?
He's reliable.
His defense does keep him in games. Personally, I think Aaron Rodgers takes the cake. I'm a Packers fan. Wow. Aaron Rodgers is him, bro. He's that guy. And look at where he's at. He's 14, so right in the middle of the league.
I will say this, even when the Patriots defense at times was suspect or they did go give up a play, you talk about someone being clutch, having the poise to sit there take that hit and everything and stay there?
TB.
Tom Brady's going to do it all day.
No, not even. I agree with him entirely.
He is clutch for some games, but his team continues to put him in positions to do so. Like one way, how I just said, points. If he's within one score, that's actually a bad analogy because.
Or think about it like this too. You brought up Green Bay.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has never had any type of caliber receiver comparable to Aaron Rodgers.
Edelman, Gronk.
Edelman is not as good as Devontae.
Edelman?
Okay, what about Gronk? Literally probably top five.
Gronk's a
tight end.
tight end though.
We're talking
Still
straight up.
passing
We're talking about receivers.
Like Gronk's.
He is a receiver.
He's a tight end.
He's a tight end, but I will say this: Gronk was more effective in the run game on the majority of years, on a good amount of years, than he was in the pass game, like receiving.
I will agree with him on that entirely. Because
that was like the biggest joke with him going to Tampa. Because they were saying, "Oh, it seems like he only brought his run game." And then it was like the next season to say, "Oh, well, he's lost his run game because he wasn't healthy." Like, so he wasn't really doing much in the blocking.
Tom Brady never had like a legitimate like top 5 wide receiver. Because Julian Edelman, like he had flashes, but Julian Edelman, like in my opinion, is not on the caliber of
He could get shut
Devontae.
out in a game.
Yes.
Edelman would easily get shut out. Only he did have Randy Moss at one point.
Oh yeah, he did have Moss. That was really early in his career.
Oh, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, both are all pros.
Okay,
But they're not now.
Now though,
They're what? Evans has like 7 consecutive 1,000-yard.
yeah, he does.
And bro,
But
he's
no, I will say now though. But I thought we were talking about early Tom.
sure. We'll go back.
So early Tom, like it's not even.
All-pro Wes Welker.
How many All Pros is Wes Welker?
Shit, bro, I don't know. I don't know, but I do think it's unfair to count out Rob Gronkowski. Like, dude, pass catcher. Like, he catches passes. Yes, he's a tight end, and he's also effective at blocking.
But look, I don't. Like, yes and no. Put it like this: Devontae Adams, or even if you go back to like even Randall Cobb when he was like a little bit younger in his prime, you can line him up outside or wherever. But Gronk, you got to think it's a bigger like frame and a body, so lining Gronk outside and having him run a fade. The only reason why the couple times that's only happened and he caught that touchdown is because he had an actual linebacker on him.
Yeah.
That he was a little bit more athletic than.
Yeah.
But when teams stopped doing that and they started putting safeties on him,
Toast.
Yeah.
they couldn't do it. Yeah. So that's why they had to do, like, it was either a jump ball or an underthrow, or they'll have to get Gronk in space to get the catch, because then at that point he has advantage because he can run over the safety.
So I'm gonna just leave you with this: 93 touchdowns. If you don't want to say that that's a valid pass catcher, I don't know what else you'd want. 93. I think how many does Tom have? Like 600.
But out of those 93, how many yards were accumulated, like, with that though? Because you gotta look at it of like
He was a big threat in the red zone.
9K. On average on the year, I actually don't know. But also he was injured a lot, so.
yeah.
But yeah, take out aside from that, again, they use Gronk in the red zone a lot. They put him on a slant route.
Yeah.
And just have him run down the middle, and that's like 1 or 2 yards.
And that benefits Tom Brady. He's a great target.
It does benefit him, but I'm saying, go ahead.
Yes and no. Like,
How does it not benefit Brady?
it does, but at the same time, it's different. Having like that tight end, like even like the game's changing now, so like a lot of tight ends now, like look at Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts isn't your Gronk, because Kyle Pitts, no offense to him, but he's not going to contribute as a tight end in the run game much.
No, he's not. He's not.
His build, like Gronk's build, is like similar towards like mine, like just a really bigger guy altogether. So it's like he's not.
I'm not arguing that it's not different. I 100% agree. He is different. He's got a whole different set of skills.
He literally could play offensive lineman if he really wanted to.
Tight end. I mean, that's what they do.
Tight ends are offensive linemen who can catch.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say that, because linemen can catch it.
I'm not saying
Linemen were pretty athletic too.
I'm not saying you're not. But, see, we've gone down a whole different rabbit hole. I do have a question. I saw this on, do you watch the Kelsey Brothers podcast?
I just started watching it a little bit. I watch a lot of The Pivot with Ryan Clark and Shannon Crowder,
Yeah.
Fred Taylor, and watched a little bit of I Am Athlete too.
Yeah.
I just started checking out the other one, with Kelsey.
I will say though, the Kelseys, they made a very good question, and now that I have a player with me, I will ask him, do you think a normal person, just like an everyday Joe, could get a 1 yard play in the NFL? 1 yard.
An average person. So that discount that we're not even in that because we're athletes, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Athletes, if you will.
I'm gonna say yes, but it's funny why I'm saying yes, because as an athlete in college, I was hurt a lot. So like I would be in the training room, but I remember one of my running backs, one of my buddies, he got hurt, he tore his ACL. So like he's in the training room 24/7, but like they come up with all these like different things for like rehab for you to do that translate, like it correlates with your field play, the moves you make. So it's like these little dots and they light up. So like say we're sitting in this room right here, so we'll be right in the middle, it'll be on each corner, maybe right there and right there. So you have to like keep your head on a swivel, and it's going for like a minute, or it'll go like the fastest time or whatever. You can put it in different settings. My trainer, like literally he works, he's an athletic trainer. He got a faster time touching all the dots in all the different areas than my starting running back did.
Wow.
We took our starting DB, our starting receiver, he still had a faster time than them.
That's
And
crazy.
he literally was like pretty much a guy straight off the street. Like,
Dude.
so it's like, I think so, because you catch people, I don't know, there are a lot of people that do have like athletic backgrounds.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think in the proper setting, just your average Joe could get 1 yard in the NFL. Now, if we're getting a first down, that's pushing it.
First down is pushing it.
First down is
But
definitely pushing it.
Getting a yard, I definitely think so.
It depends on-
Getting a couple yards, I think they can do that.
It depends on who I'm lining up against. If I'm the running back and they're like, all right, we're going to do a stretch right, and on the right is Aaron Donald, I'm walking off the field. Because that's just not going to happen. Aaron Donald is going to pancake me. That dude benches 500 pounds.
You gotta have faith in your lineman though.
I do have faith in my lineman. I don't have faith in me.
But see, the average guy off the street, that's the thing. He may not mentally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He mentally is still scared.
He might be scared, but then he also may not know, like, are they going to get a review of, like, the play? Like,
Yeah.
how to run the play effectively and this and that?
Yeah.
Because if you learn what hole to read, because guess what? If Aaron Donald wants to jump outside, cut it up inside.
That's true.
Oh, easily.
So it's just like
Inside.
8 seconds left.
learning the game and, like, really, like, knowing it gives guys advantage. Doing all the signals. Like, that's what I always say with play.
Right. Yeah, it does
Little
help.
stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't want to take up a whole nother segment, but this is some of Tom Brady's stats per championship games. And at this point, he was only in 14. This is 8 of them, and I don't know which ones of these he actually advanced, but he's advanced in probably half of these. That's crazy, dude. And then he gets another chance to go in the Super Bowl and then come back against Matt Ryan after he puts up a game like this. A lot of quarterbacks, if any quarterback puts up these numbers, no one's gonna. Bottom line is, all I'm saying is he plays like this and gets a second chance and goes to the Super Bowl and plays like he did against Philly. He looked great. They didn't win, but then he goes against Falcons. So he's awesome against Seattle, MVP. He's playing like this, and then he's going on to win another championship or Super Bowl, and everyone's like, "Yeah, he's a goat." Defense. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's not Brady.
Okay, but look at it also. Look at it, the 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Guess what? If you go back and look at that game, I guarantee you he had a clutch drive in that game that possibly pretty much ended the game. Could have won them the game.
Right, so he's just, somehow he's in positions to play well. Aaron Rodgers will have 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then they still lose. I don't understand. He's clutch, sure. I'll 100% give him that one. He's earned it.
I'd rather take the guy that I know 3rd and long in game. There's a chance of him pulling something out of his ass to get us this win.
Yeah.
Then this guy that I know, for a fact, he's thrown for 400 yards a game. It's going to look awesome, but guess what? If my defense is giving up, extra points, it's not a for sure he's going to get them back for me on the back end.
Yeah. You're just going to remember, if the defense is out or if the defense is not making plays and the quarterback is out on the field for the majority of the game, he's going to get tired quarterback gets tired because the defense keeps selling, so he has to
It's
keep
not
trying.
even that. It's not just on the quarterback too. It's like your whole
Yeah, the
team,
whole
whole
team,
offense,
quarterback.
whole offense. Like,
Yeah. Except the quarterback, he got no game.
Okay. I'm not satisfied, but I do see where you're
He
coming
said,
from.
"I'm not satisfied.
I'm not, man.
I've lost
well, the
this
biggest
debate."
question. So where's Aaron Rodgers going? Or where do you want him to go?
What do you mean by that? Like,
Do you want him to stay in
Do you
Green
think he's
Bay?
in Green Bay?
That's actually my next topic.
bro, he's my baby, man. I can't. I don't want to watch Jordan Love out there. I actually don't know what he has, but to be honest, keep Rodgers. I really wish that they just went all in. You know, like the Rams did with McVay or
Stafford.
yeah, Stafford.
Well, yeah, with
Bro,
McVay, he literally said, "Let's go all in now."
Yeah, then they won.
Yeah, look at
Who else did they sign? Like they had so many one-year deals. I mean, they ended. They got Ramsey at one point. That's not exactly.
They re-signed
all, but-
Eric Weddle literally for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Literally for the Super Bowl. He came out of retirement to play the Super Bowl.
it's awesome.
That is insane. Like, imagine getting a call from the Rams organization. Hey, I know you retired like 2 years ago. You want to play the Super Bowl?
Hell
You know
yeah.
teams do that for real, though, right?
Yeah.
They reach out, especially guys that's been in their systems. They'll definitely reach
If
out.
they need the position. And I know they needed a safety because I can't remember who, but they got injured.
Yeah, somebody got hurt.
It might have been, I think it was John Johnson.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember either, but I know a safety got hurt. It was a big name, so they needed to re-sign somebody.
And he got hurt in that game too.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, he did. Yeah, because that was the game.
I think he like tore his tricep or like
Something like
bicep
that.
stiff, something.
That was the game OBJ tore his ACL.
Yep.
That was horrible. Like, I was really pulling for OBJ.
I feel so bad. Like I was actually really excited to see him get back in it. Like
He literally, like, OBJ was such an underappreciated weapon on that team. Like, he got them so far that
he
year.
did do really good, and
I would because it's in my opinion they didn't ask much of him
Correct.
because he wasn't the number one guy.
Nope.
Pushing in between that 2 and 3 receiver at
Yeah.
that point. Guess what? Okay, Cup, you're going deep. Okay, you have to respect Cooper Cup.
Absolutely.
You have to respect who's the other receiver? Was it Reynolds? Or
No, it's Allen Robinson.
no, that was this year. He just this is his first year.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah, that was his first. Who was
Who?
the last
No,
year?
Reynolds was on. I think he was on
Reynolds?
fourth string. He was on the team.
But he's fast as hell. So
Mhm.
it's like you have to respect those
Right.
guys.
It's
And then
Robert Woods.
It
That's
was
who it was.
Robert Woods.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause he left there and he went to Tennessee.
He went
after.
to Tennessee.
and sucked ass.
It's like you gotta respect those guys, and then next thing you know, you just send Odell out on a small little shallow play, take it. You can see he's going 15, 20. Like
Exactly.
that was a new check down at that point because I don't think their running game was that great
No,
either.
it wasn't
So
because Cam Akers was injured.
Darnell Henderson actually picked it up pretty good last.
Darnell Henderson picked it up, but I mean, I think the Rams overall, they don't have a very good run game.
As of right now, hell no.
Their
in
run
my
game.
opinion, they have like what old school West Coast type run game. Like think about wasn't Gurley with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so like they killed Gurley's success in my opinion.
They killed his knees.
Because all you fucking did was run stretch left and stretch right.
No, for real. When he got to the Falcons, like he might as well just had 2 crutches on the field.
Like it was bad. Like even I think the Falcons used him wrong too.
The Falcons definitely used him wrong. I went to a Falcons game. Every drive that the defense was on the field, I saw him. He had ice packs on his knees on the sideline.
What a sad story.
I feel, dude, Todd Gurley was so good.
You gotta-
So good.
That's why you look at a team like Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their success, don't get me wrong, Mahomes is really good. But they look at the pieces around them and where those players thrive at. What are they really good at?
Yeah.
And they break it down to like each position. So like their linemen, what are their linemen really good at? Are they athletic linemen? Can they get out on screen? Stuff like that. Like
I haven't thought about that. I don't think
I
of
never
skill.
thought about
I don't
that
think of
either.
skill sets of linemen. You know, you guys are.
no, you have to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, every position in the NFL has a skill.
Bro,
Yeah,
how many
so-
times does your uncle walk up to you and talk about fantasy football and he brings up a lineman? It doesn't happen.
Linemen are like we're like the
That's it.
sleepers. Oh, especially O-line, we're like the sleepers.
For sure.
Unless you're labeled as like the left tackle, like put it like this: when we have all the success in the world, we hear nothing.
Yeah.
But as soon as we're shit and things aren't going well, or we're the first ones to blame.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the line didn't hold up, and this, that, and the other. The line fell apart.
I think it's hilarious because I've like mainly always played like O-line, especially like once I got to college, it was always O-line.
Yeah.
But people will be like, oh, you missed this, you missed that, or like in comments and stuff like that. Fans are crazy.
I will 100% agree. Fans are ridiculous.
In college, I threw a punch against Michigan game, real chippy game, going back and forth. I got spit on, got pissed, threw a punch. Long story short, like by the time I left the field, walked through the little tunnel down the hallway, my phone as I'm walking in, going crazy, and I pick it up. I literally had death threats.
God. What?
Fans are crazy.
Michigan fans especially are
Michigan
crazy.
But then, like, as I'm like looking at my phone, I just felt so bad because my parents were at that game.
Ooh.
And they had, like, of course, your parents, like, they're wearing your jerseys and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn. Like, they're sitting up there. It was funny. It was funny, but it wasn't.
Oh, God, dude. That's so crazy. I can only imagine. I really want to know. Damn, we only got like a minute left. That's crazy. What was your, like, so I know you got, what were your offers out of high school?
Out of high school, I didn't have the grades. But if I did have the grades, I would have signed to Alabama. I think at the time I was like a top 10 defensive tackle.
That's awesome.
So, crazy story. I made the switch from D-line to O-line. I went to junior college first. My junior college wanted to redshirt me. And I said, I'm not getting redshirted. Because they brought back all their D-linemen from the year before. Didn't want to get redshirted. They're like, oh, like our right tackle just towards ACL, like try out offense. My guard next to me is this Hispanic guy. He's from Kansas. His name is V. He literally told me what to do every single fucking play. He's like, hey, it's a pass. Or like, if it's full slide, hey, just slide this way. It's run. Hey, you got to get up to him. Like, every single play. Because I was like, I don't want to learn this playbook. Because I'm going back to defense next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was a top 10 defensive lineman, D tackle in the state of Georgia.
That's awesome.
Everyone, I was getting compared to Kimpichi a lot. But the only difference was I was a little bit bigger than him. I just didn't have the speed because he was running like a 4. It was crazy. He was running like a 4.4 out of high school at like
as a lineman,
6'4", like 280, running a 4.4.
That is absolutely nuts.
So,
oh darn.
it always